Hello and welcome to Blossom with Busola today. If this is the first time you are coming here, my name is Busola. I'm so happy that you chose to come. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy yourself here today, that you will choose to subscribe to this channel and share what you're watching with your connections. Leave comments too. And if you are always here, I'm so happy that you're here again. Thank you. Recently, we had a rare opportunity of spending 2 days with our friends, Bola and Okwe. All four of us feel those 2 days have the value of a month. Yeah, like spending a month together. We milked it to the last and we shared many stories. When you think you've known your friend so well, and then he begins to open some layers of his life, you realize there are many more pages that you are not peeped into. His life has indeed been a network of paths and hedges, a puzzle that one could look down and wonder, how is this ever going to make a good story? How can we keep such stories to ourselves when they can bless our world? We've decided to share with you. No need to say much more. I'll let Professor Opeoluwa Oyedeji tell his story.
My father had actually 3 wives, and my mother was the first wife. But before I was born, the second wife, who was my mother's maid, talked to my dad. So as the result of that talking was to eject my mother from the house.
Oh.
Yes. At that time, she was pregnant of me. So according to what she told me, she went to see a doctor in Ibadan and asking for abortion. But the doctor said, no, you can't do this because you don't know the destiny of this child. You cannot afford to terminate this pregnancy. So she told the doctor that, look, things are quite difficult. I cannot afford not to keep this child. The doctor said, I can't do that for you. So she went the second time. The doctor said no. So she kept the pregnancy. What name would I give to this child? Since the father is not around.
And of course, it's the father that should name the child.
Yeah. So my late brother said, well, I have a friend in my class that he bears this name, Opeoluwa. So let's give this name to this child.
Oh.
So that's the only name I have.
Wow.
Yes.
No middle name.
No, until when my father came and gave me his name.
We're talking of 65 years ago.
Exactly. Exactly. So, well, I went to a primary school in Ibadan. Ebenezer Primary School, Salvation Army, Ibadan. I finished my primary 6. I was to go to a secondary school, but my brother said no, I should go and repeat primary 6.
Why?
So that he can be prepared to sponsor me.
Okay.
Yes.
That's he needed to save some money to pay your school fees.
My fees. So I went to another school, that's Baptist Primary School, same in Ibadan, to repeat primary 6. So then at the end of that primary 6, I passed the what you call the primary school leaving examination.
Yeah.
I passed very well. Then he got some applications for me, secondary school applications.
That's the form.
The form. Ibadan Grammar School, St. Patrick's Grammar School, Rural College Ibadan, all of them in Ibadan. So I went for the interview for St. Patrick's Grammar School, a Catholic school, and I was admitted from 1. I was so happy because in that school, Catholic school, then everything was free except the tuition fees, the clothing, the textbooks, we eat in the afternoon. It was quite free. So I was in Form 1. We had the exam, I passed the exam. At that point, when I was going to Form 2, my brother said, look, things are difficult. I can no longer, take care of your tuition fees. So I remember there was a time I went to school. And when I got to the school, the principal warned us that if you are a debtor, you should not come to the school. But I was trying to go to school. So I went that day. When I got there, as I sat in the classroom, we were having a science class. The principal came in. I said, any one of you that are debtors, stand up.
Don't tell me he brought a cane.
Oh my God. I was the only one. Said, just follow me. We went upstairs to his office. He said I should stay at the back of his door. And he was walking. I was there from 9 till 11 a.m. Then you remember that he kept somebody at the back of the door. Sir, you are still there? I said, yes, sir. He said, come out. There's a plank in his office, a table with a plank. He said I should lay on the plank. I lay there. There was one long cane. The man used the cane on me several times.
Oh my God.
He said, you should not come back to this school until you bring the money you are owing. And it was a lot of money. So I left that school. I said, I will never come back to this school. So I went back home. I told my mom. My mom was weeping. Weeping. What do we do now? I said, there's no problem. All my mates, all my friends, they were in school. I was the only one at home. But in our house where we are living in Ibadan, we have a tailor that is sewing. So he told me that, look, instead of you staying at home, come and be working with me. I'll be teaching you how to sew. There, at least you have something to do. So I thought I would go to school after 2 years. The first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth year, the fifth year, the sixth year. The sixth year. So I was at home for 6 years. And I was not going to school. But I was learning how to sew. I was learning gradually. I was learning. One day, my brother-in-law, from my mother's side, we are 5. The firstborn, a lady, the husband came to Ibadan and he said, Ope, you will go back to school.
After 6 years.
After 6 years, no matter what happened, you will go back to school. I have never shared this with you before.
No.
No.
Yes. So he took me. Said, well, we go to, there's a place in Oyo State we call Ikiri.
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 Okay.
Yes, they were staying in Ikiri then. So that afternoon, he thanked the person that was teaching me how to sew. He said, but this boy will never come back here again. This boy is going to school. So he took me to Ikiri. I met with my sister. I was staying there. So he arranged for a school at Osogbo.
Okay.
He arranged for a school. It was not actually in Osogbo. It was in Otuayegbaju, about 50 kilometers away from Osogbo. So he had a bossa friend in that school. The friend was a bossa. He talked to him. The man said, well, there's no problem. You can ask him to come for exam. To go into Form 3. Remember, I was in Form 1 when I stopped going to school. So he said you can ask him to come and do exam to Form 3.
And how old were you by this time?
I was going to about 16 or 18 then, 18, 19.
Going into Form 3.
Form 3.
That's.
I was going to Form. Yes.
That's year 9.
Yes.
What we call it, year 9.
Yes, I was going to Form 3.
At 18.
Yes.
Mr. Akinroko should hear this story.
Yes.
It sounds so much like
Yes.
Mr. Akinroko's story in the book Scars Do Heal.
Yes.
The young man was called Baba. The boy there was so old in his class.
So I went for you. the exam, I failed everything. The mathematics and English.
You would now, after how many
Yes.
years of not being
I
in school?
failed. By the time I came back to Ikire with my brother-in-law and told my sister that I failed, she was weeping, weeping with annoyance. That how can you fail? No, it means we have not been doing anything for this past year.
Yeah, the learning tailoring now. You've been learning to be a tailor.
So he said, she was so annoyed with me that she was weeping. Because we are very close. She was weeping and crying and said, no, what do we do now? So with that annoyance, I told her, look, I'm going to Ibadan to meet my mom. No. So she didn't give me any money to travel to Ibadan. So I went out of the house in anger. So I was small there. I got to the station, to the place where I was supposed to get a taxi, going to Ibadan. I didn't see a taxi. But I saw these lorry trucks. So I waved to the truck's driver. They asked me, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Ibadan, but I don't have money. He said, jumped in. So I jumped I was at the back until we got to Ibadan. So when we got to Ibadan, I narrated the story to my mom. I said, was weeping and crying. This boy that said we go to school, went for the exam and failed. The following week, my brother-in-law came back again. He said, I said you will go to school. We are going to repeat that exam. Let's go back. So he arranged with the bursar that I will come back because the entrance exam to Form 3 was divided into 2 portions. Some people will come first. After that, they will select. Another set will come. They will select. So the second selection, they put my name in the second selection. But this time around, the bursar got the final exam from Form 2 to Form 3. Those Form 2, the past question, mathematics and English. And he gave it to me to go
practice.
To practice.
Wow. That must have been
so I went back to Ibadan. I didn't go to Ikire. I was there, I went to the library. I had a elder brother, Tunde. He was teaching me how to solve some mathematics. I did everything. I solved all the questions, both English and maths. So I went for the exam again. This time around, I got everything. Everything.
Wow.
So
you must have been so happy.
Yes. I was just jubilating. So the principal came and said, well, no, you go to Form 3 next time, September. No, that was 1976. September. So you go to come get your books. They give me a list of books, the uniform to buy and so on. So my brother-in-law bought everything. Bought the uniform, the textbooks. I was so happy. But all my mates at that time, they were in Form 5.
Finished.
Some of them are finished, some of them are in Form 5. In Form 3, I was so happy.
You were happy in spite of the fact that
yes,
the others, your mates have gone.
Yes.
You must have been the oldest in that.
Back in school, I can't believe it. So,
with
6
years.
Yes, with that determination, I begin to study. To study and study and study and study. I performed very well in the Form 3 to Form 5, to Form 4, from 4 to Form 5. I became the 8th boy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I won a lot of prizes in the school. We went for just state competition, mathematics competition in Ibadan. All the Form 5 students will come for that exam. Government College Ibadan, Opeoluwa College Ibadan, those top schools. I came third. Yes.
Wow.
The principal was so happy. My mom was happy. My brother-in-law, oh my God. My brother was so happy. And the man said, just ask me for anything.
Oh, wow. So what did you ask for?
I asked for books.
Books.
Oh.
Mathematics books. So he went, bought some mathematics book for
Good
me.
boy.
Yes.
He didn't ask for a bicycle
No,
or shirts or shoes.
Too old for that. My brother-in-law used to tell his children, look, this boy is my firstborn, and they should just follow my example in academics. So with that, at that time, things were getting better for my dad. He was now in Port Harcourt. So he came to Ibadan and he saw me and said, you are doing well in school now. All the things I have not done for you in the past, I'm ready to do it for you now.
Wow.
So he gave me another name, his own name.
Okay.
Opeoluwa Oyedeji.
So that was when you now got a middle name.
Yes. So when I finished, I did my school certificate exam. I did GC before that time, the November-December GC. Then I did the WAEC and I passed. So I did JAMB. I had a problem with JAMB because my plan was to study medicine, but my mark then was not up to
the cutoff point.
Yes.
For medicine.
Yeah. So my dad told me that, look, you don't need to stay at home again. Just follow me to Port Harcourt. So I went to Port Harcourt. He got admission for me in College of Science and Technology. CST. CST.
Okay.
Yes.
Before it became
UST. Because it became UST.
Rivers State University of Science and Technology.
Yeah, Rivers State University of Science and Technology.
So I was initially given admission to study mathematics, chemistry. I didn't want chemistry. I prefer any mathematical area, statistics, more mathematics. But the place was filled up. So the head of department of chemistry told me that come into chemistry. After 1 year, if you perform very well, we can transfer you to statistics or mathematics. I said, fine.
Okay.
I said, that's fine. So I was in chemistry. I did very well. So I performed very well, above everyone. That after that first year, I went to meet the HOD that, let me transfer to statistics. He said, no. He said, you are my best student. I can't leave you to go to another department. Because he needed to write a letter for me that
the letter of
release.
Release.
He said, I cannot write a letter for you to go to statistics and mathematics.
You were too intelligent.
Yes, you are not my best student.
Best student in chemistry,
Yes.
and then you wanted him to release you.
Yes.
I don't blame him. I would have had difficulty releasing such a good student.
So when I finished my HND, I did very well. I had the best in chemistry. The best results. And they gave us opportunity, the first student, to come back and do masters in chemistry. Because university is now changing from College of Technology to University of Technology. So they gave us the opportunity, the best 3 students, to come back and study, to do masters in chemistry. But I couldn't go back. At that same time, my dad's business was going down. And there was if I had to go back, I had to pay. So I couldn't, I just stopped there. So let me continue and let's see what God will do in NYC. I was posted to my degree. I didn't want to go and do my youth service in my degree. My mother said, you will never go to my degree because it's quite far. And there was the means of transportation to my degree then was by train. And you have to be on the train for at least 4 days. There is a taxi going, but that is too expensive.
The price.
Yes, the price. Eventually, I stayed. I went for the NYC
In Maiduguri.
So I was teaching CRK. Then after some time, the chemistry teacher left. I was teaching chemistry. After some time, the maths teacher left. I was teaching mathematics. Teaching CRK, teaching maths,
and
teaching
chemistry.
Chemistry, your value was going
Yes,
higher and higher and
yes.
higher.
No. So after the NYC, the woman said I should stay. I said no, I'm going back to
Ibadan.
Ibadan.
Come on, Ibadan.
The woman said, please stay. I said no, no, I'm going back to Ibadan. So I went to Ibadan. When I got to Ibadan, I thought I would get a job in Ibadan. It was that time there was a job problem in the whole country.
Yeah.
I think 1983, 82, 83. There was a serious, unemployment, serious one. So we looked for job everywhere. There was no job. I had to go back to my degree.
Ah.
Yes. So I went back to my degree.
No, I think God was just taking him back to medical.
It was at that time I met with her.
This Bola.
Yes.
You met this Bola.
You know her name? I said, you just look like somebody I know somewhere. Then she asked me a question. What is the question?
You can't remember?
I can't remember.
That's interesting.
What is your name? And he said, Opeoluwa. And I said, Opeoluwa. That name, I think that was the first time I was hearing that name, you know. And the weight of that name, you know, Opeoluwa, that is, this praise belongs to God, you know. It's just done, the weight of that name, you know, the fact that that name was giving thanks to God meant so much to me. It was so deep within me, and I said, wow, I love that name.
That was what he said.
That was what I just said.
After I met her, I started praying, serious prayers, asking God, and so on. Spend quality time to pray and fast. Because of my background, a polygamous background, I don't want to
Make a mistake.
And on one occasion when I met with my dad, he said something. He said, he said 3 things I will tell you that you should not do in your life.
Yeah.
He said, 1, don't have 2 wives. Have only 1.
Yeah.
Second, he said, don't go into politics. He said, no matter what happens in your life, don't go into politics. Don't be a politician. He said, thirdly, he said, don't join any cult. Those 3 things sang into my head.
Oh my.
How did you come to know Christ?
And that was in 1979 when I got to Port Harcourt.
Okay, that's
when I got to UST.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
My first time in the class, when I went for a lecture, I got to school very late, and I went to the lecture room, or I met a person there. When I sat down, he came to me. I said, this place. If you need anything, let me know. I said, okay, I will. When we finished our lectures, he came back to me. All his notes, he gave it to me to go and copy.
Wow.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Yes. So I copied. Each morning he will come to my room. Each morning, every morning. He will not say anything. Say, how are you doing? Have you eaten? Then we go to the cafeteria to eat and so on. And one day he invited me to the chapel. He said, okay, would you like to come to the chapel today? He said, we have a harvest. We'll give you food. Just come. Let's come.
Free food.
Yes. I said, no. So he said, well, on Sunday morning, I will come and pick you in your room. We go to the chapel together. So we went to the chapel together. So they had a harvest. And this man came preaching. Wow.
The same man that had been.
No, that is not. Yes. So this man of God came preaching. And end of the sermon, he said, anyone that wants to commit his life to Christ, I stood up. We're about 5. So I said we should come down. Came down to the altar. So he prayed with us. And Brother Victor was the one that, by the grace of God, helped me to be a Christian. We shared
I
the
always
scripture
love
together.
such stories.
Yes.
we met the second time.
Okay.
But you were to come to UST. That's the university, your university, to collect your certificate.
Yes, okay.
So he sent a message, I think, that, okay, I'm coming for this wedding, but I also want to use the opportunity to pick my certificate.
He sent the message to you.
Yes, you know, that time, okay, like this way, after the first meeting,
Yes.
you know, we were now writing, exchanging
Just
letters.
after that, I love that name.
Yes.
What happened after I love that name?
No, we were just writing casual
Casually.
letters. Sharing the
remember
I
you.
know, yes, I know.
Yes.
We
Just
used to write
sharing,
such letters.
we was writing letters and just writing letters. I was
Back
back
to
to
Uniport.
University of Port Harcourt
Okay.
for my master's.
Mhm.
So he said he was coming, and I said, okay, I'm here, this is my address and all that. So I could remember that day he came. And I think I prepared, is it just soup and something, you know? So he ate in my room.
I remember that's your room with that your small fridge.
Thank you.
All complete kitchen.
Uh-huh.
More, right? I know. You'll have to wait till the next video to hear the rest of the story, I'm afraid. Spoiler alert. They got married. Tune in next week for the continuation. Dum, dum, dum. Thank you again for coming here today. Have you shared? Have you liked? Don't forget to write your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, this is a fantastic opportunity to subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.